My feet allow me to feel everything else that much more.
Well, keep competing barefoot because after what you accomplished a couple of weeks ago, and I cannot wait to see what is next for Matt Riddle here on Friday night.
What's going on, YouTube? It's NC, the place to be. Chilling, Mr. Andy. Back to give you guys another Friday Night Smackdown review from July 3rd, 2020. Once again, I want to put my apologies out there that last week I didn't do a Smackdown review because that was mostly focused on the tribute of The Undertaker, which I want to say I'm a fan of The Undertaker. It wasn't really much going on. It was like a glorified house show for a SmackDown, and I really didn't watch it, and I didn't want to go back and watch it. It was mostly Undertaker stuff, and I have talked about The Undertaker on the podcast, reviewed the entire Last Ride documentary, gave my top 5 Undertaker moments and matches, stuff like that. So I was kind of like Undertakered out a little bit, which I could really never be, but still, I was just like, okay, well, I think I'm going to skip this week's SmackDown. So I do apologize for anybody that was expecting the SmackDown review. I was going to put it up on Twitter and Instagram, let anybody know that I wasn't going to do SmackDown, but once again, I did not get up to it on time or my community tab, so I do apologize for anybody there that was waiting for a SmackDown review and did not get it from me. I'm going to try my best not to let that happen again when it comes to notifying you guys of what's been going on. And since I am reviewing this SmackDown, this is from July 3rd, 2020. That whole weekend, we had a barbecue, so that we should do for 4th of July anyway, and just spending time with the only family that you really can spend time with during this pandemic, so like that, and some friends that we've been seeing during the pandemic, also keeping distance and stuff like that. So, and just had time a weekend just to chill, reflect, and do other things as a family. So I didn't. That's why, once again, this SmackDown review is always coming to you guys late, right there, right behind Raw. But I figured this is SmackDown to get back into and to review with you guys. So now, since I got that out the way, let's go on to Friday Night Smackdown, which we start off with, my God, King Corbin. First of all, we actually don't start with King Corbin. He comes out because Matt Riddle is in the ring, interviewing Michael Cole, and once again, I knew it the minute that Matt Riddle comes up to the main roster. The minute I say comes up to the main roster, Vince McMahon is going to make everybody pay attention to Matt Riddle's feet because he wrestles barefoot. He wrestles like Kerry Von Erich. That was touched on there. Kevin Von Erich. Back in the day when he wrestled barefoot. We've had a lot of barefoot wrestlers before. Kamala was barefoot. Rusev was barefoot before he broke his ankle, or broke or twisted his ankle, one or the other. We've had barefoot wrestlers. Ernest the Cat Miller used to wrestle barefoot. So there's been barefoot wrestlers before, and I know it seems like Vince is astounded by it to the point where eventually they're gonna make Matt Riddle put on some shoes. It ain't gonna look right, and that's when Matt Riddle's gonna leave because that's just not what Matt Riddle does. And that hasn't been Matt Riddle's character since whenever he's old UFC fighter, so he's never gonna put on no kinds of shoes. He's gonna wrestle barefoot. So, and you know what? I don't blame him, and he's been great up until this point. So he's been good. So, but then he gets interrupted by King Corbin, and King Corbin was just a challenge like, "Who are you?" And then he was just like, "Look, bro. You do you, I do me." He's like, what does that even mean? What the fuck do you mean? What does it mean, Corbin? First of all, take that silly King shit off. But, like I said, I can't stand Corbin, both wrestling and just in general. And then he wants to face the new guy. So, but right now, Matt Riddle is in a matchup with John Morrison. Let me tell you something. This is a matchup that I only thought I could do on 2K. But these two, I never thought how much I would love to see a match with these two, and it was a good match. The match wasn't a long, drawn-out match like it was supposed to be, but it was still a good match. And Matt Riddle hits the powerbomb bridge onto John Morrison for the win, and Matt Riddle wins, and John Morrison in the middle kind of like a shock win. But then after that, it's done because AJ Styles comes out from backstage and starts beating up Matt Riddle. So it looks like we're going to get AJ Styles versus Matt Riddle at the horror show Extreme Rules. God, that name is just terrible to me. But after AJ Styles is doing that, he has a matchup with Drew Gulak for the Intercontinental Championship. So Dan Bryan talked about that he wants Drew Gulak to get a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. And this matchup, back-to-back good matches. between these two, like I said, I have been on the side of Drew Gallagher ever since I have seen that match he had with Matt Riddle at Evolve Wrestling 10th anniversary when they were at the 2300 Arena right here in Philly. Great matchup. That's the only Evolve show as of right now you guys can see on the WWE Network. So make sure you guys go check that out when you have the chance to. So they had a pretty good matchup, and then Drew Gulak tries to go, looks like a Hurricane Rana, but then AJ powerbombs him, picks him up, gets him a Styles Clash, and I was like, well, there it is, it's over. But now AJ props up Gulak up on the ropes, and then he goes to the other side, and then just waits till he kind of like falls off of him, and gives him a phenomenal forearm. 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles wins the matchup. Good matchup by these two. I would love to see a longer fight between the Intercontinental Champion and Drew Gulak down in the future, but him and Matt Riddle for that championship would be an awesome ass match. So now we're celebrating Bayley and Sasha Banks. They have a package where it's basically just them going over their accomplishments, and they're basically celebrating each other. It's about a 3-minute video almost, and it's pretty good. So then Bayley and Sasha Banks comes out, and Bayley's like, "Thank you, Sasha." It taps on her leg, and Sasha does a "Thank you, Bayley." So they're really gelling together as this heel tag team and annoying. And it's kind of like, are they gonna break them up for the whole SummerSlam thing? Are they gonna plant the seeds what the thing's gonna be? Or are they gonna try to put this at WrestleMania and make this joint Hollywood? Because the way they're gelling together right now, it won't put past me that Sasha wins the Raw Championship and they put this thing on the WrestleMania, because I really believe they want a crowd for that matchup. Because SummerSlam would be cool and all, but I really think they will want a crowd for that matchup. So Bayley and Nikki Cross come out. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross come out, and they kind of act like, the same way Bayley and Sasha's doing, talk about reading all Nikki Cross's accomplishments, and then Nikki Cross is reading Alexa's compliments. It's all, fun stuff here. But you say, y'all know you're kind of annoying, right? So Sasha Banks gets all up in Alexa Bliss' face, and it says Bayley going to challenge her tonight. So Bayley is clearly not in the match to wrestle. Kind of the same thing Bayley was doing to Sasha Banks before, when she wasn't ready to wrestle, challenging her, putting her in matches and stuff like that. Well, Bayley is in her street clothes going up against Alexa Bliss. Nikki Cross keeps kind of distracted during the matchup, and then as Bayley is taunting Nikki Cross, she says, "I dare you to hit me, I dare you to hit me." She hits her, which gets Alexa Bliss disqualified, and then there's a big brawl, and then they kind of get split apart from each other. So Bliss loses the match by disqualification because Nikki Cross couldn't hold her temper. So we got Nikki Cross and Bayley at the horror show. I don't know why they call it the horror show for Extreme Rules if there's only one Extreme match on there and one horror match on there, and they're in the same match. Makes no sense to me. In the fucking pay-per-view. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. I just get so, upset with that. Speaking of the Swamp matchup, there's a whole video package of Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, the road to the Swamps. I think it's going to be an interesting thing because now we got cult leader Bray Wyatt back. So this will be a way for Bray Wyatt to lose without him being the Fiend. So he already lost as Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt. He'll lose at this Bray Wyatt, but then the Fiend will get back his championship from Braun Strowman because the Fiend needs to be protected, and we're not going to remember what happened earlier in the year. So that's what needs to happen. So it was a good video package, though. It really was a good package. I'm curious how they're going to do it, how they're going to require. I heard they're recording something this week for it, so I'm curious to see what's going to be like. Shinsuke Nakamura takes on Kofi Kingston. I'm telling you right now, hey, this is a matchup that I would love to see, especially if Kofi's had the title. But since he's now the afterthought again, and so Shinsuke Nakamura, they had a pretty good matchup back and forth. Cesaro's on the outside and Big E. So Shinsuke Nakamura throws Kofi down and hits listen to me, Michael Cole, Kinshasa on Kofi Kingston. It's not a running knee. It's a Kinshasa. That's why he won. And then Cesaro pulls out a table. Then Big E comes in and beats up Cesaro and knocks out Shinsuke Nakamura, which is hinting that I'm thinking they're going to have a tables match at Extreme Rules because it'll be, fitting because it's Extreme Rules because why else would Cesaro take out a table? But then they just announced that on the commercial on WWE.com that they're going to be a tag team match between the New Day, Nakamura, and Cesaro this week on Friday Night SmackDown. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that, but I still won't be shocked they still try to have a tables match. At the end, we are having the toast to Jeff Hardy, which we were supposed to have the week before, but then the COVID thing happened. Undertaker retired. It was a whole thing. So now we have it. And Sheamus not even there. He's like in a little Irish pub bar and everything, and he has the ring set up full of alcohol, and this butler server guy trying to serve Jeff Hardy the alcohol. It was very boring. I hated it. It wasn't really nothing that good. And then the waiter offers Jeff Hardy a drink. He acts like he's going to drink it, pours on the guy's head, takes him down, gives him a swanton bomb, and then, it really was boring. It was really pointless. I don't like when people are really trying to fight addiction or they really have a problem. Unless Jeff Hardy okayed it, but still, and you put that shit right back in their face. You know what I'm saying? Because even though he's not doing it on TV, you can get the urge to do it off camera and go back and just fall right back down by the wayside. These things happen. And I don't know. Jeff already won the first match. I don't know what is built up. They're going to have something at Extreme Rules or not, but they better start making matches now, because really Extreme Rules is about to happen in was it a week from Sunday, I believe it is. So on the 19th. So that's what a week from Sunday. So there's still about 2 more SmackDowns to build, 2 more Raw Pass and Raw and a half to build. So that's what it was. But that is SmackDown for you guys. And I enjoyed the first half of SmackDown. It wasn't that bad. I'll give it a slight pass because I enjoyed the Riddle Morrison. I enjoyed AJ Goulet. And I enjoyed the whole celebration of Bayley and Sasha. I enjoyed the Swan promo thing. And I enjoyed Shinsuke and Kofi, even though it's against Shasta. The only thing I enjoyed was didn't enjoy the main event, but that's how I'll take that in the rest of the show. But guys, you can post down, how did you guys like SmackDown from July 3rd's episode? Post down comments down below. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review, and hit the subscribe button for more WWE content right here on Nerd Coalition. So once again, this is the NC, the place to be. Chill, Mr. A&D, and the Nerd Coalition is out.